How many degrees of mental illness are you walking around with right now? It goes up and down for everybody. The key is not to hold on to any of it. If you want to be mind fit, improve your life drastically, you need to know when to let go. You see an argument coming, you walk away. Bicker online is a big no-no in my book. Because you're arguing with somebody who's faceless. They don't care what they say to you. You're walking into a trap every single time. Of course, fortunately, there is the block switch. How wonderful is that? However, by the time you get to that point, you're probably just a little bit agitated. It's a degree. And these degrees will pick up as your day goes on, if you allow it. It could be anything. You know, I don't have to tell you. I don't have to give you a list. You can work it out. You know when you feel in your biology that something's not right because you're annoyed. It's something on your mind. Something that you should rectify and you haven't done it. So you'll do it tomorrow and you won't do it tomorrow. So you get more agitated. Fixing life is actually quite easy. People just don't do it because they're mentally lazy. That is the biggest problem with humanity. They are mentally lazy. And it's fair enough that they were nurtured to be mentally lazy. Convinced, had their arm twisted, whatever terms you want to use. People become mentally lazy by design. And that's why we're in this mess. Coming out of this mess now, obviously, for the people who realise. I still get a lot of people trying to tell me about things that are done and dusted. Oh well, never mind. Depending on the degrees of mental illness, they may never see it. The ones that are arguing the most on the stuff from 2.5 years ago, if they have not worked it out by now and they think they're awake, they've got no chance. They're nearly as asleep as the sleepers. Because they're not progressing. They're not seeing what's going on. Anyway, that's not what I came to talk about today. Degrees of mental illness. You need to get to a point where you know when to switch off, walk away saying, I'm not getting involved in that. Not just online, but things that you should be rectifying throughout your day. I remember years ago I had a client, a younger person, who'd managed to get himself into big debt with the bank. And all he ever did was moan and worry about this debt. And I said, have you actually been to the bank? He said, no, I'm just pretending it's not there. I said, that's why you're so worried then, because you can pretend that it's not there. I said to him, look, this is what I'm going to tell you to do. If you don't do it, I will make you do it. You go down to the bank, you talk to the bank, you get this sorted out, and then you tell me that you don't feel better. He went to the bank. I said, how did you get on? Fine. How did you feel? A lot better. He still owes the money, but he doesn't have the bank on his back. Took away a vast amount of degrees of mental illness. Things that were stressing him, worrying him, couldn't sleep, couldn't function. Some things aren't repairable quickly, but you can take the heat off. That's just one example. There's so many examples, and I'm sure you all have loads. When was the last time you got annoyed with somebody? I bet you any money you like it was avoidable. Most things mentally are avoidable or fixable. Maybe not quickly, but they can be, the effect can be lessened. While you have degrees of mental illness, your progress through life to become the best person you can be, destiny and dreams and all that, needs to be lessened or removed. And they all can be removed. As soon as you are aware of one coming, you can swat it like a fly. So I'm not playing that game. I'm not interested. Everything to do with the mind is a technique. You just have to learn how to do it. You need to learn how to rectify things quickly with just one thought. As much as you can be triggered negatively, you can trigger something positively. It's just a mind game. I've got to the point now where when I'm walking or if I'm running, if I get a pain in my knee or somewhere in my leg or whatever, I can just say, that's enough, pack that in for a start. And more often than not, it goes away. Because as humans, we're not what they tell you. I mean, those people who know, we're just energy. So I was reasoning with myself many, many years ago. If I'm just energy, how can I feel pain? If I'm just energy, how can I get fat if I eat chocolate? Because energy and chocolate is the same thing. I'm eating a chocolate bar that's made out of energy, which can't make me fat, which is true. So I played with this for a very long time, thinking, well, how can anything that's but energy affect me unless I mentally allow it to? So I started to play games with it. And to the point where it has to be within what you can believe. If you believe you can remove a pain, you can. If you believe you can't, you can't. But, just to go over the old thing that I've said many times before, when I broke my shoulder so severely I needed surgery, and I said, no one's going to stick a knife in me, I fixed up myself in 4 weeks. No surgery, no painkillers, nothing. Migraine, I've removed that. It's just a mind game, a decision. And degrees of mental illness is the same. It's a decision. I'm not playing that game anymore. Don't start on me, because I'm not going to react to you. For example, there are so many things you can do. If I spoke to you for 20 minutes, I could give you a long list of things to do. There's a solution for everything. And most of this I worked out for myself. I wasn't a big reader. I'm still not a big reader now. I was born a thinker. I was an educational failure, as I've said before. But I knew I wasn't, because I could think better than them. And I was only a little kid. Learn to use your mind and learn to reason things out differently, and your life will change. It's that simple. As I keep saying, life is just a mind game, and you need to learn to play to your advantage.